How's it going, everybody? This is Robert Naini, your spray foam advisor. I want to share an idea with you today about making decisions. I'm recording this video right here from my carport in at my house in Florida. You can see this vinyl fence. I was having some trouble getting a local contractor to help me with the vinyl fence, so me and my buddies have been working on this for the past couple of days. And it's been a great process, and of course there's a bunch of decisions involved in making a project like this be successful. And one of the good examples is something like this right here, where we needed to go into the concrete and actually put the posts down into the ground, and we'd never done that before. And so it was a matter of, how do we go through this process, going from not knowing to knowing, having never done it before? How do we actually accomplish this? And it took us a couple tries, but we finally figured it out, and we got it knocked out. We ended up using a new drill, or a new saw blade, new type of saw blade that we had never used before for concrete, a masonry blade, and that wasn't quite deep enough. So then we had to come back with a small jackhammer and chisel the concrete out of there. But it worked, and we're able to get the posts dug successfully. And that's just one example of when something difficult happens, how do your employees handle it? You know, if you've been watching the news recently over the past couple of weeks, you've probably seen that United Airlines has had a whole bunch of backlash from some poor decision making by the people in the daily operation portions of their business, right? So this flight crew needed to go from one location to another. The airline had oversold the flight, and the result is that the airline asked for volunteers to get off of the flight and wait for the next flight, and they were going to comp them and give them some money in exchange for that volunteer, and nobody volunteered. So they were going to randomly decide who of the people on the plane, of the paid customers, had to get off of the plane and wait for the next one. And they did, they randomly decided. They tell the 4 or 5 passengers that they have to get off, and one of them doesn't get off. He says no. He resists. He says he's a doctor. He has to be in the next town the next day to see some patients, and he's not going to get off. And it is within United Airlines' rights in the contract that you sign as an airline passenger for them to remove you by force. Now, is this the right decision or the wrong decision? Well, clearly, I think it's the wrong decision. They've had so much negative backlash. They get such a bad reputation for activities like this, for an action taken like this. But it is within their right to remove you by force, and that is what they did. They called security, they called the police, and they actually removed the guy by force from the plane, drug him out of the plane by force. What type of decision is that, made at the lowest levels, at the daily operational level, those people making hundreds of decisions a day, thousands of decisions a day? And here we have an example of a poor decision that was part of the process and procedures and approvals of the airline. But this situation could have been dealt with and handled in so many better ways. They could have offered more money. Eventually, if they offer enough, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, somebody is going to give up their seat. They could have spent that money and chartered a bus or a car or a limo for the flight crew to the new destination. They were only going 4 or 5 hours away. They could have driven the flight crew to that destination. There's so many other options. If you think outside the box, think creatively, and do something maybe that is not part of the everyday process, but that looks better for your customers and gives your customers a better experience. I guarantee you this guy did not have a good customer experience. And even more than that, the people around him that were not impacted physically the way he was, they were impacted emotionally and mentally. I guarantee you they did not have a good customer experience. So keep in mind that when you're running your businesses, when you are working with customers, when you're working with employees, that you and your employees are making hundreds and thousands of decisions a week. How do you make those decisions? How are they making those decisions? What's the baseline for making good decisions in your company, in your corporation, in your business? Well, generally it comes with training, it comes with knowledge, it comes with information, and it comes with thinking about what is best for the company, what is best for the business, and oftentimes that means what is best for our customers and what is going to give our customers the best experience possible. That's your tip for the day. Thanks for joining us on Monday Morning Madness. This is Robert Naini, your spray foam advisor.